Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
How we doing?
We're good. We're very good. Welcome back to You've Only Peaked Gaming
Already.
podcast round.
Already. You've already
Yeah.
peaked.
Yo,
You
I
you
mean that's
you
how
don't have the money in the bank to make another logo yet, Trevor.
listen, that's how much I've peaked. I'm just shortening everything up
You've
now.
only
I've
only peaked. There's
I've
been nothing set
I've
before,
I've
nothing
peaked
since.
and that's it. That's I've hit the point. If you don't know that I'm already at the top, what do you
Yeah.
mean?
Fuck.
Oh man, how you been?
Been good. Been good. Today I No, you know what? I'm not gonna bullshit you and say I've been good. I've not been good. Me and my girl had a little day date today. We went out on the way home. We're like, you know what? Let's get a fucking Blizzard. Let's go to Dairy Queen, get one of those motherfuckers. It just sounded nice. It's no Cold Stone, but it's nice. And they're supposed to do this for you, and
Yeah.
they serve you a Blizzard because they're like, man, this bitch thick. My bitch was not thick, and when she handed it to me, my Blizzard went all over me. She just spilled chocolate Blizzard on me, and all she said was, "Let me get you some napkins." Oops, sorry.
How about you
Don't lie.
repo that? The last time, so I forgot that Blizzard did that, and it was probably I don't know. I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was with Sean, and we were going to lunch or whatever, and we were driving through, and there was a DQ like where the job site we were working at, and I was like, oh fuck, let's go to Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Maybe it was with Sean. Maybe not. I don't remember. This bitch turned the thing upside down, and I went, huh, and just like, I was like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, this is what we do. It's like, oh my God, like, what the fuck
Well,
is wrong with you?
if they don't do that, you get like a free mini Blizzard, like a small one. They have to give you a coupon if they don't serve it like this because that's supposed to prove how goddamn thick it is. But mine didn't do that because she knew that the viscosity of my Blizzard was not up to par, and when she handed it, the pressure of the two hands hitting that little paper cup squished it, and it came out all over me. And I was so flabbergasted, I knew if I said anything, I might start like screaming at like a 16-year-old working their first fucking job. So I just shut up, pulled forward, and wiped off the car and wiped off myself.
I think,
And that's why it's really awkward that today's sponsor of You've Already Peaked Gaming is DQ. Have it your fucking way. And I know that's not your slogan, but I'm not supporting you anymore.
Too bad for the sponsor. It wasn't for the Blizzard. It was just for their burgers. Oh man.
Sponsored by Dairy Queen's small fries.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
like you don't even get that much. Like we'll give you 10 cents if you mention our fries.
They're napkin dispensers.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyways, but how have you been?
I've been good. It'd be good. It's been a long weekend, bro. Yesterday was fucking weird. Like between like it was super awkward. We got up in the morning, went back to bed. Like did a couple other things, got up, went back to bed. I may have slept. Like I usually don't sleep, right? Like I'm usually the person
I was
that
gonna say you need it.
I,
There's anybody that can probably use a couple hours extra.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's like I don't sleep or whatever. So like when I get through those days that I'm like actually tired, I just kind of like I take a nap. I'll fucking relish in it. Couldn't wake up for shit yesterday. Like all day long, I was literally just like in and out of bed. Like there was probably from like 8 a.m. to like 2 in the afternoon. There was probably like a total of like I don't know. I want to say like 3 hours of total consciousness. It was the weirdest thing, and it was like it was nice. But then that's why like I got up and we started like fucking actually becoming humans again. And then there was like, Sean's like, oh, I beat this boss. You're like, that's funny. I'm fucking sitting in Discord. It's like, all right, I'll be there. Let me get some food real quick and I'll be right there. So
where was the turning point for you in that day? Because you tell us a story where you're sleeping in and out all day, and then you just immediately jump to Sean saying he beat a boss. But even if I hadn't received the text that said I'm gonna be hammered,
oh yeah, well,
just hearing you come in, like I don't even have to see your face when I hear like the giggle starts, and you're all, what are we gonna fucking kill? Like you're just all of the mannerisms really just like ramp up to a let's fucking do it. Like
so I've gotten to the point now. I think I've figured out that I'm just like a functioning alcoholic. It's like,
You
it's not
just
like,
ride that
yeah,
baseline.
it's not a joke anymore where it's like, and like people be like, oh yeah, I'm a functioning alcoholic or whatever. It's like, no. Like I woke up, my 3 hours of total consciousness was like with a beverage in my hand. I get up, like, all right, time to get up, pour myself
That makes
another
more sense.
drink.
You're already tired.
Exactly.
Like the smoker that falls asleep with a cigarette on their lip, but yours is just like a glass of whiskey.
And because I usually, like, unless I'm drinking like vodka, like I got a nice vodka drink here, and all it is just ice and vodka, and so cheers. And so all I do, is just like when it, gets a little watered down, all right, pour it out, pour a new one in, or like if I'm doing like bourbon or whatever, then I just do that straight with no ice, and it's like, so it just stays neat and clean. But yeah, so there's that point where, like I said, when I finally woke up, then we were just drinking, and then that's why I was like, okay, let me get some food, I'll hop on and we'll go, and then I just kept drinking all night until you got off, and I was like, all right, everybody's off, I'll probably stop playing games. I think I still played Elden Ring for another, I don't know, until almost 4 a.m. and then just drank. And then I woke up this morning at like, Audrey got up hella early this morning. She was just like, her stomach was upset or something. I must have been whatever the fuck we ate yesterday. She got up hella early, and like 8:30. I was just like, what time is it? And she's like, it's like 8:30. Like, we can go back to bed. It's like, no, fuck that. Like, we gotta get up today. Go,
we gotta do something.
Something. Just exist for a little bit. So we played through the last part. We're on the very, very last mission of the Final Fantasy XIV expansion for Heaven's Ward. So that wraps up. We've wrapped up that whole story content, and then
They're already on expansions?
Yeah. We've been playing for a bit.
Damn,
we've been playing.
They're moving quick.
Yeah. So Final Fantasy,
just the game.
Oh, the game's. Oh, fuck. The game is old, dude. Game's 10 years old now at this point, if not older than Final Fantasy 14. Yeah. The MMO.
Is this the online one?
Yeah. Bro, this game is
it like just came out.
No, man, this game is fucking. So 1.0 launched 2010.
Was there like a big update or something then?
So what happened was
everybody started playing it, because I feel like like everybody, not everybody, but like a good portion of people just all of a sudden they're like, I'm playing Final Fantasy 14. I thought it was like a new one.
What ended up happening was, and this is what is the craziest thing, because the MMO culture in itself is like, there's not a lot left. Like, for some reason, it just kind of, it fell off. And like, you could see this stuff. Like, there was this turning point when like WoW was real big, and then like, you had like games like Rift and Guild Wars 2 coming out, and they were supposed to be these WoW killers, and nothing really toppled that giant. Mm-hmm. And so Final Fantasy 14 came out, I don't know, 2010 or something like that, and it was fucking awful. 1.0 was like the worst game ever launched. So bad so that the company just was like, we're going to cut the story here. This wraps it up, and we're going to remake the game from scratch. And then they put out 2.0. So I picked up 2.0. I played a little of 1.0. It was like 1.13, I think, is when I played the game. It was awful, terrible, couldn't do anything with it. I repicked it back up on PS3, I think it was, and I played the first 2 expansions. Well, we're talking 10 years ago now. So they've gone through, they have the main game, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Walker. So there's 4 expansions now that span this over 10 years. And so I've been playing main content in that game since every expansion launches. It's cool because, like, if you just want like a big old story to play through, it's a Final Fantasy game. So it's just fucking hours of content as long as you can spit. But outside of that, like with the raiding and things like that, and like for me, huge into raids and dungeoning and stuff like that. So it was always something that brought my attention, but I don't think it ever hit mainstream because it was a lot, I don't know, it's a lot more structured in like a different way than like something like WoW. And so everybody played that because that was your MMO. That if you're trying to be competitive or play like the end game content, like WoW always had that type of thing. Well, I think of how bad WoW had gotten in the past couple of years, but between all their scandals, the fucking just the quality of the game in itself, the lack of content, the drip fed bullshit, I think the community just finally gave up, and then that's when you started to see Final Fantasy come back up. It was right before the launch of their newest expansion. The coolest thing about it is they have a free-to-play game. So it's like, remember how when we were playing WoW, like you could play free up to like level 20 and then you had to subscribe? So that's not like that for Final Fantasy. Like you get a free copy and the first expansion for completely free. You can play all the way through it, and then once you finish that expansion, then you can pay your monthly subscription, but then you have to purchase the expansions or whatever it comes out to. But they have all the expansions in one pack, so you spend like $50 and you get everything. So it's like cool. So anyway, it's just one of those things. Me and Audrey played a lot of WoW, and she was just like, I don't really give a shit about the story. It's kind of boring, and it's really obnoxious having to wait for shit. I was like, well, there's this game that I play. You know, we can play Final Fantasy, and she's just she's in love with the story. She's just like the way like the characters interact, everything. So the end of the expansion's pretty like right in your face. A lot of like heavy shit. So I was like, all right, you gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta do the podcast. She's like, you know, we're almost at the end. It's like, okay, yeah, but we can come back later. so
we're almost to the end.
She was not happy with me kicking her out. So priorities.
She leaves, door closes, she hears like the Elden rings,
startup
menu. Oh, motherfucker.
Oh man.
Fucking, because I mean, really, that's
it. That's all I've been playing.
Taking over, man.
It's taken over. I think I just crushed over 200 hours. I just checked my Steam.
I think mine before, I think I was like 165, 166. And that was before we even tried like end game bosses and shit. And now that we're there, I have to tell you, now that my mage is officially
done,
consort and an Elden Lord,
yeah,
I'm still just as hooked. I still want to fucking. Now it's like okay, and I'm excited for like second playthrough, like harder, like trying to like get those like storylines more tied up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I still want a dex build. I still want a fucking arcane build. I want one of all of them. Yeah. And I don't know when it's gonna fucking end.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new game plus. Like really looking forward. I'm at this point, like my main character is just on cleanup duty. I'm just trying to like knock everything out, like go kill all the dragons. So I can purchase all the fucking shit before I go into new game plus. Just so I can dick around with builds when I get over there. Apparently the only things you really lose are like all your key items, obviously, your great runes, the bell bearings, and then all the NPC storylines reset. So wherever you're at with them. So it's like, okay, cool. No big deal. That's easy. You keep all your gear, you keep all your fucking stuff, you know, you level your stats. That's a fun little like way of going into the new game. But now I'm also starting new characters and running through the areas because I'm also trying to be like, well, how the fuck did I get X, Y, and Z? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I've got maybe it's a little bit of autism, but like I'm pretty good at knowing where I'm going in this game now. Like, I can
you have a hyper focus on this.
Yeah, dude, it's a hard ADHD right now. Like I am just like I've got it mapped in my brain. Like I can run through areas like, and maybe it's just because I've been watching the speedrunners do a lot of stuff too, because that's been huge. Like watching people that do like full remembrance speedruns are dope because like they know like the quick paths to getting to and from each location, and I think that's helped out a lot with the map. Trying to remember where like certain items are in the game has been fucking difficult though. Like I just don't know where some of the like some of the talismans and stuff are.
All right, and before we continue, a moment of silence for the speedrunners after this patch. 28 minutes. Final and fastest that ever will be. Godspeed, tarnished.
I think post update, someone who didn't update the game, I think world record sits at 27:48.
Sorry, Mr. 28 that I just called out.
Well, he did it, you know, pre-patched or whatever. So it's like one of those things you could still kind of flex a little bit.
Flex.
I mean, 28 minutes is here's the thing. I think that they can still use the exact same run that they were doing. I don't think that they're going to get the 28 minutes anymore because one of the biggest things about beating the final bosses was like having the resolve and the ice stomp, and both of those got nerfed out. So there's been a couple, like some of the communities already come up with a couple different solutions that it's going to add extra couple extra minutes because you got to go kind of out of your way and hopefully kill a boss to get a specific weapon. Like the one where you were looking at with that dark paladin build, that specific
Yeah.
poking stick, that thing rips. And so if they're able to capture that one early from that death bird, they could probably still make up a good time. But it'll just be a different run. That's all it is. You know, your any percent wrong warp will just be either a completely dead category now, or it'll just be a lot longer than it was. So
Yeah.
and I like seeing. That's why I like watching the full remembrance speedruns too, because those guys are kind of dope. Like going out and killing every single big boss for all the remembrances or whatever. Like that's a fucking goofy
That's chunky.
Run. Yeah, it's a goofy run too, because it's like there's to get to some of the remembrance, you got to go through bosses that you just can't skip. And so it's interesting. Like cuz this speed run there's like 2 or 3 bosses that you could like completely bypass. Like the end of the one, the Elden Lord fight that we did right before the final boss. I guess there's a glitch that if you like hop over the side of the wall and like save and reset and you come back in, you'll be in the boss room. He doesn't fight, and then you can just walk to the final boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of cheesy. Kind of cheesy, you know.
I mean, I have no room to talk. Cheese has been a fun staple.
I mean, we've also
speaking of P2.
Yeah.
Did they patch out the Bloodlord?
No.
I wonder what he's worth P2.
on New Game Plus? Oh,
yeah.
God, who knows, man?
I mean, 500,000 before.
I would imagine. Yeah. Bosses. I don't know if they used to do things where like they kind of scaled it weird. So it's like if it's a big chunky boss like that, like he might give you a fuck ton, but he might also like not because he's already pretty chunky.
Yeah.
So it'd be funny, but that's also why like I want to go to a New Game Plus just to fuck around with it.
Yeah. But, I mean, we're almost there.
I mean, yeah, I think there's a handful of items left over that like we can go and capture. I'm missing a bunch of stuff that I can't get because of just storylines that I missed, so I have to go anyway. I want to finish up a couple dragons so that way I can get some hearts. I've got a list. I'm also like that list. I give a shit less at this point. I'm just on full fuck around mode. You know? So I want to make a full faith build and like actually fuck around with like some of the dragon incantations and some of the lightning stuff. Like it just looks so fucking dope. At the beginning level though, faith is shit. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. But like if you do everything else around it, it's like kind of fun. I don't know, man. This fucking game.
What sucks is it's like the update. When did the update come out? Thursday?
Yeah, something like that.
Like, can you not Thursday? Do it on like a Tuesday night or like a Wednesday. Because I spend all week like looking shit up while I'm at work, like in between patients and everything like that, and I get it all together. And then when I log in Friday and I'm about to start my weekend, that's when everything's nerfed. And then guess what? I have to wait a day and a half for people to update me on what's been patched and what, like all this fucking shit. And then fucking Sunday comes around and I'm getting back into work.
Yep.
Come on.
I mean, to be fair, we did beat all the shit. Your bosses are dead. I mean, you've clapped it up. We're good to go.
That guy was already fucking like Mean Beam Central though.
Mm-hmm.
Frost Stomp. What the fuck? Just found out about it. Because we just started that character. I was like, I'm doing something a little chunkier. Fucking Frost Stomp this, Frost Stomp that. I literally get it. I'm just like, I'm just going to pick this up. It's not where it need to be, but I need to figure it out. Whatever. The next day, gone. Fucking gone.
Like,
God.
But then they turn around and they like fix all the scaling with the arcane weapons. And now like bleed builds are fucking disgusting. Disgusting. It's like not even fun disgusting. Like the stomp was gross, like because it's just like, oh dude, it's just like you can just melt things.
Yeah, just spam it.
But like, I mean, what we melted Malekith or whatever.
That you were
Dude, he just fucking went down. It was like, oh my god, okay.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
I've seen. I was watching this guy. I'll have to send you the video. He did like some dragon incantation build, and it was like on New Game Plus, and it was just literally melting bosses. And I was just like, this is the sickest thing ever. Like, I want to play with this so bad. So, because he made a very good point. He made a very good point. It's like, it doesn't matter what they nerf or they don't nerf. there's
There'll always
nothing.
be something.
Yeah, there's nothing that's so bad in the game that it's called a bad build. There's just improper setup. He's like, you can
Yeah.
make anything a good build. You can do anything and make anything a good build if you have all the proper things for it. He's like, you can pick any item and make it good. He's like, and then having a good player behind it will also make it good. And it's like, yeah, it's great. That's cool to hear. It's like, I'm just shit player then, apparently.
Well, yeah, no, like, yeah, 100%. A good player behind it will make it a good build. What about me at 3 o'clock in the morning? Fuck, man. Sometimes I just want to fucking just be blacked out and drunk and just. But, I mean, overall, I don't think I'm ever gonna fall out of this honeymoon phase, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like, yesterday before you got on, while I was waiting for Sean that never showed up, um, just like fucking around there, I'm like, okay, because I'm not trying to fucking like progress my character super far in case like we hop in with Sean and stuff like
Right.
that. I kind of want to keep it right around that same level, so I'm just out exploring, and I come across a whole nother. We've beaten the game, and I was like, whoa, I've never fucking been here. It's just fucking
Like
wild.
running around with Sean has also been like super crazy too, because like I'm just like, you drive the car, I'm passenger at this point, and like we're
Yeah,
going to places and seeing things that like, and a lot of it too, like we were having this conversation, was like, because we're playing co-op, you can't get on the horse, so
yeah,
it almost like opens up a lot of things. Like you're running through areas, I'm like, fuck, I've never been here before. Like we were out like where the Albernac area is, so like there's like if you're out in the lakeside,
yeah,
there's that overhang that's all that poison swamp and everything. Well, out there, there's just like a couple crystals and this like narrow little pathway, and you walk in, and there's two of those crystal fucking, the ones that jump around with the spears or whatever. I was like,
yeah,
I've never fucking seen this before.
yeah.
And it's cool to see that type of thing, and like that that kind of makes sense to me. Why? So in like World of Warcraft, you have flying, you know, and usually
Hmm.
what the developers do is they don't give you flying right off the bat. They make you fucking walk everywhere or ride ground mounts because they don't want you flying over to the top of everything. And a lot of the community is always like, you just give us fucking flying at the beginning. Nobody gives a shit. There's certain people that don't play this game to look at your fucking shit. They just want to like beeline from point A to point B, turn in the quest so they can go fucking raid. That's all they want to do. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
There are some people that have been playing this game for what 10 or however long it is now, 15 years or however old WoW is, and couldn't tell you a fucking thing about the story.
Yeah.
It's like I have no idea what's going on. Not a single thing. But then there's the flip side of it is like totally understandable. When you are on foot like that and you're not just riding your horse around, all of a sudden you just start seeing shit that you would not see before. And it's like, oh, this is
And
kind
you
of
realize
cool.
how big it actually is.
Bro,
Like we were like wandering around. I was like, God, why is this taking so long?
Yeah, I just
Because you're not just mashing the buttons on the horse.
walking from point A to point B, and then like Sean gets another grace. I'm like, okay, I'll meet you there, and I hop on a horse, and then I'm like, holy fuck, like I'm actually mobbing pretty far on a horse. Like we went
Yeah.
really far before we found the next grace. So
Yeah.
it's that open worldness is real cool. I'm really enjoying that, and like you're saying, just still seeing things, or like I know that there's areas, but then seeing it from a different perspective, like being on the ground or coming up from the backside and seeing it on a different end. It's like, oh fuck, like we were out fighting that like where the summons are at the Great Jar,
Yeah.
and I was just staring over the ocean, and the side of the mountain has like a big skeletal fuck off face in the side of it. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I've never seen that before. Just
Yeah.
things like that. It's just they did a good job with that whole world. It's a lot of fun to look at.
Yeah. Want to
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. Just give up.
play?
It's such an itch. Talking about games that people are fucking like in love with or whatever. Do you remember? I was looking at this. Remember Lost Ark peaked at like 1.1 or 1.3 million players
Right before this game came out.
right before this game came out. I think that was just
I
like,
just started getting into it. Like,
yeah. So I was looking at, it's down to like 485,000 players.
I just feel sorry for anybody who released anything around this game.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I feel
all in.
I
I'm trying to think of like something of this scale the only thing that comes to mind is like Skyrim,
Mm-hmm.
because Skyrim was like so big, and it's like, and Skyrim, you could kill some guy on accident, like over here, and he's got like a cousin that's been assigned to him that's an NPC, and that guy starts questing to fucking avenge him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to think of like something that's come out to this scale that's made such a fucking bluster.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
I feel like
I
Grand Theft.
guess it was
Especially
a lot of fun, but it
well,
wasn't.
I mean,
I guess for the time.
think about it. It doesn't matter if it's a time or not. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 online has been
Yeah, it's
re-released
still
how
going.
many fucking times? Like there's a
Yeah,
new copy of it coming out on PS5 right now. Like, they're doing like some free thing or whatever, and it's got a player base that is, I mean,
yeah,
it still has a ton of people that play it. Maybe not as much as it is anymore, but it's enough that like they can continuously re-release the same fucking game and it still sells every time.
yeah.
Skyrim is another perfect example of that, where it's like, how many times is Todd Howard going to release this fucking game? And how many times is he going to make millions of dollars every time they re-release it? It's the same fucking game. I bought Skyrim like 3 times now. I'm done buying the game. Nope, sure shit. You release it, and it's like, all
Yeah.
right, I'll pick it up for the
I
next
almost
gen.
bought Skyrim again.
Bro.
Somebody was showing me a mod for it where, well, he was playing where he is like, he's super in anime, so he like his character is Naruto and like everything is like Naruto based. But there was also a mod that he put on, and I don't want to fuck it up and say the incorrect thing, but I'm pretty sure every time you looked at the moon had Gilbert Godfrey's face in it. It said, "Oh my god!" Like every time, like your crosshair went straight to his all, "Oh my god!" Like that. He was all, check it out. I like looked up at it and like it said something stupid, and I was like, "What the fuck?" He's all, "I love mods."
Yeah.
And just that alone, I was all, I can buy it again.
The modding community for both like Skyrim, Grand Theft Auto, like that shit is crazy. So there's a community in Grand Theft Auto that does. Have you heard of like the parkour community or whatever? So there's vehicles and stuff that you get, and these people make these maps, this like Trackmania maps, where you have to parkour a vehicle like through a map or whatever. Bro, it's incredible what some of these people put.
I was gonna say I've lost hours of just like, and they're like the YouTube shorts where you're like, huh, and next thing you know, you've watched like thousands of them back to back of just like,
Yep. See, that's a game. That's a game that like holds interest in weird ways. You may not play Grand Theft Auto or that type of thing, but we're still talking about it. We'd still share a video.
Touché.
You know what I mean? Like that's big. That's big.
Yeah.
Now let's see if Elden Ring can do that over the next 10 years. When did Grand Theft Auto come out? 2000.
I was working at Applebee's.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Another fun thing about Grand Theft Auto is the people who do like the role playing, where like they assign themselves something, and like somebody like, I watched this guy on Twitch, I think is TBT Cheeks. And he doesn't always play it, but it's almost exclusively when he does, he's like blacked out drunk. And so his character, I swear to God, this guy's gonna get like some kind of schizophrenia because he's like so committed to the character. Where he's like, he's a cop, but he's also like a drug addict who can't help it. Like, I mean, like he goes to work and like, I don't know if the other people, this is like the most fascinating part. Like the other people in there, I'd assume they know like he's like a drug addict because they always kind of like allude to like, what did you do last night? And he like, no, nothing. And then like he like takes his character and like sprints to a bathroom and just like, just like does these like stupid things and then comes out and he's like, don't look at me, and like beelines to his office, and then he gets in a squad car and like just like shakes people down but never gives them tickets and stuff. Like, but just the fact that there's a community that is so like dedicated, and I mean like it's like almost daily. Like he's on there, he's all just clock it in.
No,
it's
and
wild to me.
The RP community is huge because it really does it. Like they take that shit far serious, like to a next level. It's like it's almost weird. It's like you play D&D or stuff like that, and like you have those type of like those games, but like you do something like that in GTA, and like GTA kind of picked it up. The one that I used to watch a lot was like the Arma RP communities. That was huge. That was like when Mr. Moon was doing a bunch of stuff, and like Kiwo and Shizzle and all these people were doing this stuff in DayZ, or like DayZ, and then the Arma community, and they were doing RP, and it was fucking golden. These people like just that was all they were their real life characters, and they were doing movies and skits and shit. It was like it was
Yeah,
so sick, man. And it's
it's
like
wild.
it's fucking fun to watch too, because it's weird to take a game like an online game like that, and then it's not fun to watch GTA Online. It's not fun to play GTA Online. Like I'd put a ton of hours in that game. It's not fun. Just like smashing the same online missions over and over again, riding around and just having somebody just fucking bolt you with missiles from the sky or whatever.
Yeah,
But watching,
just constantly trying to break into the military base.
yeah,
So
exactly.
you can fuck somebody off from fucking 5 miles away.
But then watching the RP community and like having these storylines evolve and shit, and it's like, oh, this is super fucking cool, you know. So
it's wild to me. Fucking the fact that everybody's like, and everybody's going along with it. It's like one giant flash mob, and they all know their role. Like it only really takes like one person to be like, no, but oh, this is what it is. It's like the world's best improv class. Everybody's just fucking flowing with it.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
and,
wild.
And the coolest thing about it too is you find when they have these communities, these RP communities, and new people come into the RP communities, there's no shunning or anything. They do this thing of just like integrating and molding, and like people that don't really have that RP like type of sense, they make the best of it. I mean, I watched them multiple times, like when they're playing like officers or whatever, and they stop somebody or whatever, and the guy's like, "Well, I don't know what I'm doing," and they just keep playing with it just to keep it going, and it's like it's fun. I think it's just a good involvement. Like it's a cool community. I couldn't do it. I
know.
I'm like
I'd
I'm
fuck
awful.
off and become a serial killer and fucking just get banned.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just awful at fucking the whole RP thing. I can play for a little bit and then I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I'm tired. So, yeah, it's exactly right.
Let's get banned.
It's we were playing Sean was DMing for us this game called Starfinder. It's like D&D but in space. It's like very sci-fi based and everything. Fucking ton of fun. It was like me, Audrey, Cliff, Sean, and that was it, just the four of us. It was a ton of fun to play. And like we had this whole storyline and all these characters and backstories and the way that they interacted with stuff. And it was fun because it was a small little contained group of friends that all knew one another and we could have fun with it. But then like ideally blowing that up, or like he'll invite me to like do D&D with like a larger group of people that have been doing it for years and years, and I'm just like, I'm almost intimidated. Like, I don't know if I want to get into this. Like, I can't hold on to that. So it's weird.
I know nothing about D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. I feel like everything that I know, I don't really know. It's all just based off of jokes about them.
Yeah.
So I try not to be too quick to judge. But the one time that somebody like really like informed, I wouldn't even call it informed, but like kind of confirmed some of my suspicions about the D&D community. And take this with a grain of salt. I already said I was ignorant. Don't yell at me in the comments. But do you remember Bubba?
Yeah.
The Lion Took at FLB? I had just worked a Saturday night shift into a Sunday morning shift for football, which is one of those ones where I get 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
If I'm lucky.
I remember.
And I came in and it was just like, I think like there was like a big fight in the parking lot, like right at closing, like the night before. I mean, I'm probably running off like 55 minutes of sleep, if that's what you would call it. And I'm like, it's one of those mornings where I literally had 18 shots of espresso, like just in a cup, and I'm just like trying to like choke it down just to fucking jumpstart my body back to it. And Bubba comes around the corner, and he says, "Wow, you look really tired." And I just kind of like looked at him like, "Fuck off! Like I'll kill you right now. Like I'm not in the mood." And he's all, "I bet you I'm more tired than you though. You know why? I got 0 sleep last night." And I'm like, you had the night off. Like you get no sympathy for me. He's all, "But what I was doing is I was playing Dungeons and Dragons and I was the dungeon master. But the kicker is I'm a dungeon master that is nowhere in the time-space continuum. So I know everything. I know people's where they were birthed to where they're going to be. So when they're making decisions, I'm throwing them curveballs, letting them know how it's going to affect this time space continue. And like he goes on this big thing. He's all, try wrapping your mind around that when you have no sleep, Brad. And like he's going, and the entire time I'm just trying to wake up, and like I have no, I literally was just like, get the fuck away from me for the rest of the day. And I know, like in here, that D&D is not that person. It is not that game, and that there is like I guarantee there's a very cool side that if I gave it a shot and I really like gave it a chance, I bet you I'd enjoy it. But it's instances like that that really, really just like build that fucking wall up.
Well, and that was what was so cool about having Sean DMing and it being like this small group of people was.
Well, yeah.
It was all like-minded friends that like were on that same level. The only out of this space, like what you would consider the nerd, would have been Sean, because he was so. But Sean also knew, he was like, I'm playing with people that don't know how to roll a fucking die to do anything. So he was real cool about just doing the basic level shit. It was so much fun. We had a fucking blast doing it. But yeah, when it gets to that level, like that, the nerd times 10 level, it's hard for me to like and I'm a nerd, like, trust me, like geek nerd, like I'll Poindexter the fuck out, but like there are some things I draw a line in the sand because I'm like, I don't know if I want to A, cross that boundary, or B, let that boundary cross into me. Like
there's 4 of them on a couch just doing this to you, and you're no, you see that line? Nah.
You can throw me some pamphlets. I'll read your I'll read your stuff, but
just knocking at your door. Do you have time end of your day to talk about Dungeons and Dragons?
Roll an initiative check.
You just don't say anything, just the door lock slowly clicks.
I mean, I'd like to do something like that because like having like you could do it online. We could do like Roll20 and stuff like that. I'm watching your brain flicker. Just give me a second. Hold on to that thought. Like you could do Roll20 and we can do online stuff. So there's a lot of places that like via Discord or different things like that, they can have these games play out. And I feel like with our group of people, especially being so far away from one another, that might be like an option that we can kind of like try to dive into and see if it's worth even attempting, but it would have to be a very specific type of game, like in a very specific time period, and then see how it all works out. I have all the stuff for Starfinder, so like we could do that. But okay, now what are your brain clicking at?
So I was saying, dude, I want to come back.
Yeah,
like, I just want to like spend like a weekend, hang out, play some games, do this fucking live,
Mm-hmm.
What if we also just like jumped into it? Like Sean comes over,
cold feet,
just cold, just, but like an obscene amount of alcohol too, to where like you can see Sean like trying to hold it together. I can't deal with these fucking guys anymore. We've got that inversion table back out. Roll 20, roll 20. Like the bomb disarming game, like that.
Oh my god, we should do that. I have a VR kit now too, so we could do that whole game in VR.
But we have to record all of
every
for science.
hopefully the 3080 comes
Sean
in.
just has like a GoPro where it's just facing him, and it's just like his reaction. Just
I'd love to have that idea too, where it's like I want to do a D&D campaign that extreme, like to like max level, but I want us to come in like halfway through the campaign, like no pre-read up. Like Sean, you need to start this like midway through, like in the middle of a battle or something. Like
just a dragon comes out, but he's holding a bomb. He just takes him and put him on that. You gotta disarm it. You gotta disarm it. Just air horns in their ear while they're trying. Oh, I'm colorblind. What's the green or the red wire?
God, that was the worst part of that night. We're so shithoused. You're just like, I don't know which one is red. Like, what? The fucking red wire. Like, I can't see it. It's like, oh, that's right. Brad should not be disarming bombs. We are
Yeah.
all too drunk. It was like after your third explosion too. We're like, we're all getting shithoused. What is going on, man? You're like,
I was
I can't.
determined.
I know. You're like, I can't see the colors. Oh,
I mean, eventually I get the right one.
Yeah, out of luck.
Statistically speaking. Fucking.
Oh my god, that was so much fun that night.
Yeah.
I was hammered. Oh my god.
That was a wild time.
I haven't thought about that game in fucking forever.
That game keeps me up at night. like some nights I'm just falling. Like you know how like your mind just goes like weird places. Like, oh, I wonder how much an alligator eats every year. And you just like do like a weird Google. Sometimes that's what pops in my head. I'm like, oh, that fucking game. Because I've still never disarmed a bomb. There's part of me that just like tries to remember all the like the little steps, like just in case we play it just randomly.
Fuck, man. Yeah. I'll re-download it. I'll put it on the VR. Get the full. I think I've got the disarming manual sitting around. So God, that game is so fucking. Was it Keep Talking? What's it called? God, oh my lord.
This will be our first big production. We're gonna have to get some GoPros. We're gonna have to like strategically place them, have enough memory in them that they can each record like 5 hours, and then it's going to be a week and a half of editing through the bullshit.
Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
And there should also be like a little like a camera for a box in the corner that just shows like how much alcohol is gone. Like you have to keep to set the bottle back in the ring,
yeah.
so that you can see like the level just slowly depleting. Like oh the whiskey is gone, and just like like an NBA sportscaster. Like okay, they finished the bourbon. They're getting real desperate. It's now cherry rum is all that's left. This is where you know it takes a turn.
John, that bottle looks like it might be plastic. Let's see how this ends up.
Yeah. Ooh. This will be our first big one.
Yeah, if we make it.
No, and we'll invite Corey Rose too.
Oh,
and,
so we have to make it?
No, just strictly for the like, so that we have like all of the stages. It's like Sean who's super into it, all of us somewhere in the middle, and then Corey who just wants to get the fuck out of there. But we padlock it from the outside so nobody can leave until it's done.
One of us has to swallow a key. You're here till tomorrow.
Fucking somebody's passed out and Corey's got his fingers down their throat in the bathroom just trying to get the key out.
Motherfucker. He's got a magnet.
Yeah, to see if you can feel it. Fucking. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
This is it.
Yeah. This will be dangerous.
What's gonna make us big.
Yeah. This will make us big. Yeah. Yeah. Who the fuck are these guys?
We're about to get retweeted by Mr. Beast.
Oh my god. Oh, that'd be fucking amazing.
Oh.
All right. So next week.
Yeah. No. I think there's a week coming up that they switched my schedule around, so I have Monday off as well.
Oh, dope.
So I can like come down like on a Friday. We can do it like all day Saturday. Sunday I could die and come back up, and that way I still have Monday to like curl in a fetal position and rethink my life decisions.
So let's see. Next weekend, I'll be out of town. Next weekend. The first, is that the weekend after? My sister's in town, but that's a good. That would be a good time to do it too, because I can just fucking. She's like, oh well, I'm coming over on the first, which is a Friday or whatever. And it's like, but I need to leave on the second. I was like, yeah, no problem. Get the fuck out of here. So we make it work. Yeah, this upcoming weekend I'll be out of town, but you just let me know when. You just tell me a date and a time, and I'll tell Sean, and I'll just have him tell him to switch shifts with people.
Fucking put a gun to his head. You're doing this.
Just fucking tell him to take the shifts. Oh man, this will be great.
Yeah, Sean by the end of it looks like fucking this Russian roulette scene from Deer Hunter.
Yeah. He just click.
Just walk around like Ben Stiller in Tropic Thunder. I killed what is most beautiful that I love the most.
Amanda? Probably wasn't even her name.
This is actually could be a good one. We might want to slow it down, not rush it. Really put some time and thought into this. You're right. Fuck that.
I mean,
I'll bring all of my guns. I won't bring any bullets, but we just won't tell Audrey. Just at one point, she's like, "What the fuck?"
I love the idea too, like, because if we plan it, it's gonna go to shit. Because we're gonna expect it. We can't expect it. We just have to throw. We don't. I don't want to tell Sean. Just tell him, hey, come over for a D&D session.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
okay, so we'll plan it.
yes, yeah,
Plan it.
Plan.
We just have to have certain things in place.
Yes. I'll need. Oh God! All right. So look, the 3080 supposedly comes in on the 4th.
Oh, I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell the world?
I don't want to.
What happened? You pulled a Brad.
I pulled a Brad.
You
I woke up in the
Brad.
morning and I looked at it and I was like, Audrey.
I didn't even realize you drank that much.
We've been drinking quite a bit. We've been drinking quite a bit.
I mean, I felt it. I knew where I was. I didn't think anywhere from you though that you were that close.
Well, we went to bed at what, like 3 a.m. or some shit like that.
Yeah, like probably closer to 4.
And then I woke up in the morning and it was like already through the cart, like in process, and I was like. And then there was an article I had open as well. It was like, oh, the prices of 3080s have dropped significantly, and like for whatever reason. So like, I think in my drunken stupor in bed, like falling asleep, was like, oh, this is gonna be a good buy. I think it's still what I say it was after taxes and everything and shipping or whatever. It came out to like 1,700. It's like I don't feel like that's that bad of a price.
I didn't buy anything. I actually thought about that after you sent me that text, and I was driving. I was like, oh fuck, and I thought I was like, oh shit, like I wonder like if we were talking about something, I should probably make sure I didn't order something too. But I never did. I just did. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, like I said, worst case scenario is it doesn't get fulfilled, right? Because that's 99% of the problems. Is like,
and then just do the Amazon refund.
Exactly, and
so at least you have that.
Cool, no big deal. I'm not fucking tripping on that. But if it does come in, cool. Now I got a 3080 and 2 1070 SLIs. So,
or it comes in, you put one of your 1070 SLI in the box, and then you do an Amazon refund saying like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
I mean, no, because the price of me selling the 2 1070s would make up almost more than the cost of what it would be for fucking me just purchasing this one. I think, yeah, dude, I think the 1070s are still selling pretty high. Card. Yeah, they're like a grip right now. 1070 Ti's, yeah, 1070 Ti's right now are going for $1,000 on Newegg.
No shit.
Resale 1,000. I guess you can kind of find them a little bit cheaper. Oh, not the Founders Edition. Founders Edition is probably about $1,000 right now through eBay and whatnot. So if I sold 2 of them, I make $2,000. I make $300 on it on the 3080. I'd have to sell it though.
Are you gonna sell it though?
No, yeah. We were just talking about it. Like I'd probably just turn it into a recording. Like I've got another computer that I can put together, and I'll just put the 1070s in there for recording or streaming or whatever we decide to do.
Yeah.
And so that way I can, because what I've been noticing too, and I don't know if it's a combination between the 1070s or just like past gen stuff or whatever, but when we've been recording Elden Ring, there has been some like definitive like quality problems through OBS and like it just looking like shit. It's just like I'm running a game at a fairly high quality. I'm streaming or like recording through OBS. I shouldn't have like shit quality. It shouldn't look like shit. But like when I do the playback, and like remember we were talking about, it's like, oh well, maybe it's just a buffering thing. Yeah, but it's just like, yeah, it buffers, but then there's still like just a quality that just looks bad, and I don't know what exactly it is. But I also know that the computer that I built was not built specifically for streaming or recording. It was built for playing games. So I'm assuming there's a bunch of different settings I gotta fuck with to like get that quality to look good. But at the same point in time, if I get the 3080, fuck it, just put the other computer together, make that a recording one, have that all set up that way, and then go that. So yeah. Plus, I mean, if I wanted to, I could buy. We were talking about this. I think me and you started talking about it, where buying a pre-built computer right now is like one of the smartest options you can do, because like I paid $1,700 for the 3080 Ti, but I think you could still pick up a 3080 Ti and a pre-built for like 22, and you're getting like an i7, like a 11 gen i7, like a fairly decent like PSU, pretty decent MOBO with a case, good RAM, whatever it comes out to,
Yeah.
and pre-built. So like, yeah, sure, the cost of the graphics card is kind of expensive because it is fucking overpriced. Like MSRP on the 3080 Ti's, I think is like $800 and $900, maybe even less than that. So
Yeah.
paying $1,700 for it is still fucking an outrageous price. It's double the price. But you still get that fucking a brand new computer with all brand new parts. So like what a lot of people have been doing is they've been buying pre-builts, taking the graphics card out of it, swapping with whatever they have, and then reselling the fucking brand new computer they have with the old graphics card in it, and still making a ton of money on it. And so
Yeah.
making up that cost difference a little bit.
To that flip though, I think the supply chain is kind of reflecting that now, because you used to be able to, I'd go into Costco and I'd see like they had, and it's like Dell gaming computer, and like most of it's kind of like whatever, but they have like a 3070 in it and they're selling for like 1,500, like stuff like that. So I was always like, man, maybe I just do that. Now though, every time I've gone in, it's like I'm seeing like 1080s, like 1090s and stuff like that. Like all of a sudden, like they've taken a drastic turn, but the prices are going up on them.
Yeah. Well, it's because
So,
again, it comes
yeah,
down to what's ever available or the
Yeah.
return process. You know, if
so
I
think the tides are kind of turning on that
Yeah.
now.
I have to imagine too. There's also like two things that are happening because the announcement of the 40 series is coming out, and so I wonder how people are like holding off on that type of thing, because I guarantee you, if Nvidia does it right, like they could probably set up so it's like you're not going to run into the scalper situation as much. Like it has to go in a computer, it has to be used or some shit like that, or they'll set something up. If I was a company, I wouldn't give a fuck. Who cares? I'm selling product, I'm gonna make a hell of money. But like if you could take away from the scalpers and all the extra stuff, like I would have a program where it's like, send us your computer, we'll put the fucking graphics card in there for you. You pay it at MSRP and we'll ship it back to you. And so that way it's out of the box, brand new, and in your computer, but you can't get the highest price out of it if you were to turn around and try and resell it.
Yeah.
Or like recycle. Send us your graphics card, we'll send you the fucking graphics card type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Ooh.
yeah, kind of sketchy, but I'd like to see something like that because I'm sick of just crypto taking everything.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. And they were like, you know what? The superconductor, like the chip shortage is being resolved. Like we're probably expecting it to be gone by like Q4 of 2022, and things to be normal by like Q1 2023. And then the whole world's all Russia invade Ukraine. It's like everything's gonna go to shit.
Yeah.
Gas is now $6.30 a gallon.
Well, bro, and that's the thing about it too. Is like that's just people being fucking greed. That's just corporate greed at its best. Because like the price of gas has actually gone down in the past couple of weeks, yet gas has gone up by an extra $1. You know what I mean? And I get it. For anybody who's watching this outside of California, yeah, I get it. $3.45 a gallon. Boo.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
you
people.
Don't feel it like we do,
bro. It cost me $6.15 a gallon because I got to fill up with the premium or the Supreme because of goddamn Beamer. So I filled up. It cost me $96 to fill my car.
Last time I filled up, it cost me 110, and I think I paid $5.70 a gallon. And that was like 2 weeks ago. And then somebody this last week was all, I can't believe I just paid $6.30 a gallon. I was like, what the fuck did you just say? And they're all, yeah, the gas is getting so expensive. I was all, I filled up like last week and it was this. And they're like, it just keeps climbing, dude. I'm like, oh my God.
Like I drive for work too. And it's like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I get some reimbursement out of it, but it's like the reimbursement is like, I fill up once a week, you know? So it's like the reimbursement comes per pay period.
Yeah.
It's fucking $400 a month, in gas alone.
Help.
So it's a shitty process, but it's a whole thing. It's, superconductor shortage. This will go away, but greed doesn't. So people know. Yeah, superconductor goes away.
Constant.
Yeah, buy them all up. There, I just read this article about this kid. He was in the UK or whatever. He's like, I make a living off of reselling PS5s. Like that's how I'm able. Like nobody's hiring. Oh, the market's crashed. Blah 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 blah. How I make my money is by reselling PS5s at a higher profit price. So like this, somehow this kid, however, got his hands on enough PS5s that he can resell them at a higher
Like
price.
create
Yeah.
create a bot that goes in.
Yep. That's all you have to do. Spend the baseline and then resell
Listen,
it at fucking.
I get that you're making a living off of this, but there's also people that make livings off of selling black tar heroin. And to both of you, I hope that you fall feet first into a fucking wood chipper on the lowest gear, you giant sacks of shit. You are the worst of humanity. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, at least you have fun with the heroin.
Yeah, at least the first time, right?
Yeah.
That's the time that you hear like the Doors and the Beatles. Like,
yeah.
oh, wow. The rest,
round 5, you're just like,
it's all downhill from there. Shout out to our next sponsor, Black Tar Heroin from You've Already Peaked Gaming. Try it once, it'll never be the same.
I think after that, the week is we got NordVPN and Bolivian cocaine. Fuck. It is shitty though. It is shitty because like in the grand scheme of like capitalism and like the the best way of making money, I can't fucking fault these people. I can't fault.
No, I
can't be mad.
But...
I can't be mad, and I can't be mad because I'd probably do the same thing if I had that opportunity. Maybe not to like a grand degree, but you fucking tell me you wouldn't make money. We just talked about selling my 1070.
You would make money. You would make money. I know. I get it. I get it. But there's just a part of me that just couldn't bring myself to do that, even knowing the monetary value of it. Which I kick myself for. Like I wish I could fucking have that little of a conscience. Even knowing. No, there was a point where they came out, like I was part of like some like Twitter thing, and it popped up like, hey, Best Buy has them, and I could have bought it at MSRP. Stupid or not. But at the time, like we had just built my computer, so I was like, I don't really need that. But there's part of me that was like, you got some extra money lying around, buy a couple, flip them. On one shoulder, it said no, leave that for fucking people that actually want it and need it. On the other side, it said do it, because if you don't, somebody else is going to do the exact same fucking thing.
Yep. And it's like it's sort of like we start to like fall as a society, like it's like because we just like
everybody else is doing it.
Well, yeah, exactly. And like I get it, I get it.
Beat him, join him. Let's get the aimbot.
But why is there no like contingency to fix that? Because it's just like companies are making their money, so they're just like, who gives a shit? They don't let you guys fight yourselves,
Oh no, they bought a bulk order of 40 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, wiping their tears with $100 bills.
Yeah, little Johnny won't have anything to play on Christmas Day. Who gives a shit?
Just laughing.
Yeah, I mean, the worst part is for like someone for like me, like I'm buying way overpriced fucking graphics card, and it's still like $400 or $500 like cheaper than what it was. So
yeah,
I'm looking at it
like you're getting a deal.
It's exactly right, but it's not, and I know it's not. But I'm also at the point where it's like I can't wait any longer. And then there's also that next sign too of like I still don't have a PS5. I've come to being okay with that though, because the games that are on PS5 that I kind of want to play, there's other games that I'm playing that I'm much more happy.
Yeah.
Plus, like my PS4 now, like I've kind of, it's an obsolete thing. Audrey uses it to play Final Fantasy, and I use it to watch Netflix and Hulu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's about it. I don't think. I mean, I put in original Dark Souls games into it the other day because I was like, we've been playing Elden Ring, and I'm like, I'm gonna
nostalgia.
I'm gonna go back in and do the nostalgia stuff. But it's also like one of those things. It's like, it's okay. Console, I'm not rushing to get. Graphics card, on the other hand, something that we do every day, like we're using a computer, we're playing games, we're recording. Like I feel like we need that stuff, the bigger items.
Yeah,
it just makes sense at that point.
Yeah, reinvest in yourself.
Exactly, and that's where I'm starting to have the fucking. It's like things like getting a new camera or like getting an audio deck that I want to get set up. Like this just costs money. It's just expensive. Yeah. I gotta plan it all out. I can't just fucking. I'm not made of money, even though I wish I was.
I mean, the hat on your head suggests otherwise, Trevor.
Yeah. I wish the camera...
I'm not made of money.
Perfect. I don't know
if it's the right way on mine.
Oh, yeah? Can you see that?
Yeah, looks good on mine. Oh, I'm not made of money. Pulls out a chain that also has your name on it. Well, on that note, thank you everybody for tuning in. It's been another successful podcast. I feel like I've gotten a lot off my shoulders.
Yeah. Coming up with a game plan.
Fuck you, Dairy Queen. Fuck you.
Black tar heroin.
A lot. Fucking black tar heroin. Graphics cards.
Oh my god.
People that don't like Elden Ring.
Yeah. And then we're gonna have hopefully in the next few weeks here, a very special video that comes out that just fucking annihilates everything. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm excited.
It's either gonna do one of two things. It'll either go really well or we're gonna lose all of our friends.
I mean, or it could go both.
Yeah. It does really well and we lose our friends.
It does well, but none of our friends talk to us anymore.
Totally fine with that. No, I'm not even worried.
Yeah. This is content.
Yeah.
Were those friends building you up?
Fuck you. All right. We're out of here.
Boys and girls. Catch you on the next one.
Kisses.